We've seen Alejandro Garnacho make a good start so far this season off the bench. He played a lot last season. I think everyone can see the talent that is there. What does he need to do this season to go to that next level and show he's a world-class player? Is it just about more goals and more assists?
You going very, very quickly. World-class player. That is. Then he has to go away a long way. He's high potential, 100%. He showed last season he can contribute. He can be start 11 player, but to make the jump to become a world-class player, a long way to go. So, and it starts with very hard working, and that brought him where he is now, and that will bring him to that world-class play. Because, and that is what I agree, he has the potential.
You just mentioned there about the attitude of players, perhaps when they're not being named in the squad because you've got a bigger squad. Do you think that's going to be a challenge for some of the players? Because last season, with the amount of injuries he had, if players were fit, invariably they would have been named in the squad. But it sounds like this year you're expecting good players, high-profile players, maybe to have to sit out of the squad entirely, not even be named on the bench.
It can happen because I only can name 20 players for every Premier League game. In Europe, yeah, you can name 23 players, but that are the rules from the Premier League, and as a squad we have to deal with it.
Just mean that if you're a player of Man United, you kind of have to accept or don't be here, essentially.
Exactly. You have to accept that, and then make sure that you are first under the first 11, make sure you are under the first 20, and that is, you have to prove it. So show it every day in the training pitch, and of course in every minute you can get. And it's not only about the starters; it's also about the finishes. And so I was very pleased last week, and coming 2 players on, Zirkzee and Garnacho, and making the difference. One gave the assist, the other makes the goal, and that is what we need throughout the whole season. That you don't win with 11 players. In games, but also between games, you need more than 11 players to win the football games.
Jerry. Hi, Eric. Just following on from that, Jadon Sancho, ahead of Arsenal last season, showed a bad attitude, obviously. He's now back in the fold. You left him out last week. Are you concerned if you have to leave him out again, he'll show the same bad attitude, or are you confident that he's learnt from that experience?
It was last season, and I think as a squad we have to reflect on that situation. That are things that going to happen this season, 100%, and we have to deal with it. Because that player can make, in the end, can make the difference, or already in the next game or 5 games after. Because we have players in the squad, they are all capable of playing under the first 11, or at least to play under the first 15. So then you have play time in every game.
Is it your style, if you're going to leave a player out, because of what we're talking about, to maybe sort of let them know, or do you not feel the need to do that, or is each case different depending on the player?
Each case is different, but we can't explain for every game. But of course, when the player has questions, when he doesn't understand, I'm always open for conversations. But sometimes I will take the initiative, but I don't go to explain for every game why I made how many decisions you have to make. So many, you can't explain them all.
Neil, just on Garnacho, this club has been famed for exciting wide players, wingers, the likes of Ryan Giggs. Do you think it's important for a club like this to continue that tradition of having exciting players like that? And does Alejandro fit into that billing, the likes of a Ryan Giggs?
So yeah, I agree we need, but I think every club in the top needs players with, say, the X factor. And Garnacho definitely has it in him to become a player. And we already have seen on occasions that he shows this X factor. But also others in our squad already have shown it. So if you want to be really that player where your colleague is talking about world class, then you have to do it consistently.
Do you think he feeds off that obvious energy from the crowd because there is an excitement when the ball gets to him?
But also, I think also with other players from us have this as well. But yeah, he has that skill.
Paul. Eric, just a question on Kobe Mino. He slotted back into the team quite easily last week. Didn't have a full pre-season with you. How much confidence do you think he took from his role with England in the summer? And do you see him as more of an attacking midfielder than a kind of a holding midfielder?
So there are more players with us who didn't have a pre-season, and I said to you last week, yeah, we are still in pre-season, but still we have to win our matches, and that is what we did last week. So happy with this, and no injuries. So that's the same for coming game against Brighton. And then the second answer to the question, I think he collected such good experiences, and those experiences will help him to make him a better player, 100%. And where do I see him? So for me, a midfielder, the perfect midfielder, is one who is very good in attacking, very good in defending, and he is a player. He can do that, and he can play as an attacking midfielder. He can also play as a holding midfielder. And we have to see from situation to situation, to occasion, who is available. Also look to opponents where we can hurt the opponent, or we have to take some strength from an opponent out where we use the players. So particular to Kobe, that was your question. So we can use him as an attacking midfielder, and we can use him as a holding midfielder. And so in approach to a game, what is needed.
I know you call it's still pre-season. Is that the same for other clubs in the Premier League as well? And do you think, with that in mind, what you've seen over the first week and the progress, that there is a real chance to stay at the top for Manchester United?
I think for other clubs, all the clubs who have many international players, so playing for the nations, they are all in the same boat. But there are clubs also who has less internationals. They would have had a longer pre-season together as a team, so as a squad. They are a little bit further ahead in terms of game model, in terms of fitness.
Okay, last question, Mark.
Hi Eric. Mason Mount's a player who's featured quite prominently in pre-season and the first few games, but he's a player who's played a lot of different positions in his time here. It's kind of felt like he's never had a set role. When everyone's fit and when everyone's available, what role do you see him playing?
I just do explanation. We need rotation. We need all the players in the squad. So you can't talk about start 11. And the second thing in your question is about last season. He was injured, so he didn't play so many roles.
I mean, as a position though, as a position.
No, but he is I think he's versatile. We can use him